Ilyen, amit tíz magyarok, igen szerénkednek, Jógyadi János kiáltáson.
Brave gentlemen and fair ladies, you can see, Blender is a lizard how to carve a human-shaped dahlia from its cube. Also in the left corner, I'll start a tutorial for you. It will reveal what I do with the combinations of Ctrl-Alt-Shift mouse buttons. I hold down the middle button of my mouse. If I move the mouse up, down, right or left, I can control the direction of my gaze. By scrolling, you can focus your attention or you can customize the overview in advance. We can change the location of our gaze by using the combination of middle angle plus shift and mouse movement. You can select the visible elements with the left mouse button, combined with shift. We can collect several elements. I now remove the light and the camera. A pop-up window opens when I click the right button and I give the delete command. The elements have gone to the eternal hunting grounds. We can undo our reckless actions with the Ctrl+Z combination. With the combination Ctrl+F, we can redo the undone command. We are currently in so-called object mod. In this mod, we are decorators and mechanics. The furniture can be moved, rotated, and the entire furniture can be resized. Hey Meniku, bring it back. From the object mode, here, we can switch to the edit mode, where we can become carpenters, drilling, carving and hammering the furniture elements. These little spiders are called vertices in the program. The spider webs that connect the spiders are called edges, and the spider webs define planes. Now the field is still clear. There are no chaotic situations. I remove this plane. I select small spiders clockwise with the Shift left key combination and recreate the plane with the F key. Let's start the job. I select all planes with the A key. I rotate all the planes by 45 degrees around the vertical axis. We make a Rubik's Cube out of it, using the Loop Cut tool. I change the number of cut to 2, so that it is cut into 3 equal parts with 2 cuts perpendicular to this edge. As you can see, I repeated it on 2 adjacent pages. Now I show a trick tool. In the Edit menu, in the Preference window, I search for and turn on the Automirror add-on. Thus, we can effectively halve the work, in the case of a symmetrical body. Copy half of the body onto the set, symmetry axis, mirroring it. Before we use mirroring, let's go back to your object mode, and under the object menu, look for the Apply, All Transformation submenu. With this we have finalized all transformations. Change the orientation to negative so the left side will be the one we edit and the right side will be a mirrored copy. Now we can issue the command. Vizsla is a rust-colored Hungarian hunting dog. If we examine something more closely, we can say his name. I'm going back to edit mode. Face to face with the fact, Ctrl+ numpad 1 key. These 3 parts will be the butt, belly and chest of the figure. I move up 800 millimeters, where chi is the center of life force, and 300 millimeters of waist is enough. The scaling radius is not a diameter, so I only write half of it. I select a whole polygon. Blender can do that. If I use the numpad on the dot key, it adjusts the view to the selected shape. I peek slightly under the Rubik's Cube, select the face of the base of his leg, use the E key to grow the leg of his thigh. Next command E will increase his tibia, his hoof will come. I selected the chest section as a group with the left button. I used the ruler to measure 1600 millimeters. Let's move his shoulder up there. I use the G hotkey. While moving, hold down the left button if you release it well enough. Waist section up, chest down. The chest section is lower, as desired. It can be modified easily at any time. Knowing that player has a slow motion function, where I just permuted the previously shown functions, I made the movie wild. If you still want to see a movement in more detail, you can slow down the detail. I don't want to steal your time. I use the ruler again. I measure how big the figure's arms should be. I need a measurement from the shoulder to the middle of the thigh, which I see is around 1000 millimeters. Left fact view, Corktrol plus, numpad 3 combination. You will have a flatter stomach and back. I cut his arm into 4 parts with 3 numbers of cut. 4 parts shoulder, upper arm, forearm, hand. 3 cuts shoulder muscle, elbow joint. Here I measure so that your elbow reaches the bottom of the rib cage. Biceps, triceps, melismus. The quadrilateral doesn't break as I would have liked. I'll do it myself. I throw away the square and build it again from points. I make a healthy S shape for her back. For us Hungarians, this is a key bone. For you, clavicle. Legs. I sag a little. I do kung fu there. I learned that you always sag your knees a little. Then you can't be surprised and your knees won't break. If the joint is stiff, the bone breaks. You have to stretch. Even if your arm is numb from the mouse, the medicine is to stretch it. I grew his neck from the center of his Rubik's Cube, from the base of the skull, the top of the doll's head. We have this cup. Go ahead, grow a face for him. Let there be room for baking with us. The oven is the brain. We don't find the idea, we cook it, spice it up, salt. We stir, we taste. We can't be made to do something that doesn't taste good. With such boots, you're already in the shape of a man. Pointer, matador, meditator, pull my finger.
Triceps.
Here I use the trick of selecting and extruding all 4 at the same time, expanding them together, but I chose every second one, and later I expanded the neighbors as well, so the new space was created not at once, but by the second one.
Így meglettek az új közök is.
Who are they, you ask? They live in our forests. They call it Toportian. They are bigger than foxes, jackals. They hunt in packs like wolves before they go on raids in the evening. That's how they call the pack.
Mondtam, hogy bevadítom a videót.
The fire is burning. They won't come here. He scurries away from the pack of people.
Ég a tűz, nem mernek ide jönni.
I guess you've noticed that I'm constantly swinging the figure. With it, I achieve the effect of perceiving the real shape of the body. If you don't get nervous about it, but concentrate, it will work for you too. You will feel like the puppy is learning how to bark and howl in the pack. The figure begins to protrude from the screen. This is not just a fairy tale. This is called the parallax effect.
Itt lesz a szeme.
Approx. Here will be your eyes. I'm just marking it now. Let's not do anything complicated. The overall effect should be good.
Utána vizsgáljuk a fickót, elkészítjük az úgynevezett UV mappot.
A simpler ear, like a crumpled phonograph funnel.
A fül olyan, mint egy összegyűrt gramofon tölcsér. Olyat próbálok most kialakítani.
I measure his arm. Did he not get too long in the great effort? Of course I do. I'll shorten it.
Itt pontosabban most kicsit rövidebb kézre volt szüksége. Így. Király.
Now I'm taking care of your gaze delicately. It's important. The eye is the mirror of the soul. Bright eyes, true heart. The dim look, his liver is full of poison.
Gondolom feltűnt, hogy jobbra-balra rángatom az objektumot. Az a lényeg, az agy képes ebből a rángatásból egy térérzetet létrehozni. Legalábbis amikor én így gyakorold.
Now the face is not too complicated. I'm working on it. It's sketchy, but it's easy to shape. It's easy to get the proportions to be pleasing.
Netán úgy gondolod, hogy csak kitaláltam. Nézz utána a fogalomnak, hogy mi az, hogy paralaxis.
That's enough. A few details will come. Just the eyes and mouth. You feel the good mood of modelling. It's hard to stop. Warn yourself. Stop! You have to finish it once. You never finish it if you need more than necessary. It doesn't get any better. Good work takes time, but bad work takes even more. In the Hungarian homeland, during the festivities, for thousands of years, during the dance, they not only sing but also recite rhythmically loudly, taunt each other, tease each other, try to insult each other. The ruder the more we laugh. It is not appropriate to take offense at criticism here. We enjoy them loudly. He who lives by the sword dies by the sword. If your poem is bad, they will fight back with many poems. Only a bad-tempered person gets offended. If it's not your shirt, you don't wear it. Maybe you know this as hip-hop. One of them fits here. Help me, my poor wife. Her seam is tearing. We're not thinking about her clothes at this time. Mark seam markings are left along the best hidden lines of the figure. In order to see the figure's extended fur, select the UV editing screen layout. In the Face menu, UV Unwrap Faces. As a result of the unwrap operation, Blender creates an atlas from the planes. If we hit the mark seam markings correctly, there is little left to do.
Ha jól eltaláltuk a mark seam jelöléseket, alig marad dolgunk.
I'm going to visit the GIMP program. I'm going to improvise some very simple colored texture.
Textúrát. Elég egy pepita.
With a colorful checkerboard texture, it is easy to examine how much the UV map distorts and helps to improve problem areas.
UV map.
I need a black one like the color of my Pumi dog's nose. The Puli is the long-haired, short-haired Pumi, and there is also a Moody. The sunbeam is yellow. Whoops! A cross on the metal cover plate of Arpad's warrior's bag.
Az úr égkékje.
The blue of Balaton's sweet water and clear, cheerful sky.
Ez egy húgykék volt.
Under Andrash is a blue sapphire.
Zafírkék. Jöjjenek hát zöldségek.
Vachikor is a wild, sweet pear, the favorite food of even the dragons who live here.
Akkor búj, búj, zöldág, zöld levelecske. Nyitva van az aranykapu, csak bújjatok rajta.
My friend is the leaf frog, the mosquito net for him multi-course feast, full of tasty morsels. The women can roll paper-thin table-sized dough from Hungarian wheat, fill it with everything good, and roll it into a long cylinder, such e.g. the cherry-filled Ritas. Lavender in Tihany. The colour of the most beautiful rose petals in Gulbaba's garden is the best. Gulbaba is an Ottoman poet who lived in our country during the colonial period. According to legend, he planted roses for the first time in our country. Both he and Suleiman the Great died in Hungary. Suleiman's body was taken home, but his heart was buried here in a secret place under Szigetvar. Let me introduce you to my colleague Shanyi. He is the knight of our warehouse. He rests at my place during the day and romps all night. He is completely grey, even special. I fill another layer with a more detailed checkerboard.
Kimetszem
I get a more complex mosaic.
a réteget, majd hol van a szemcsés,
I use the grain extract mod for mixing.
az lesz a nyerő. Ha az angol van fönt, akkor grain extract.
It is important that the white also has a pattern.
Hops. Nem sikerült túl jól.
Whoops! It is easy to change the size if I am not satisfied.
Jó, föl kell nagyítani. Jó van, alibinek jó lesz. Király. Egész jó.
It will be good now. First, save the XCF GIMP document file.
Jegyezzük meg, hova mentem el. Akárhova.
Then export it in PNG.
Exportálom PNG-be is.
I can go back to Blender. I select the shading screen layout. I look for the PNG image in the folders in the left corner. If I find it, I select it and drop it into the node editor window. I grab the color point and connect it to the neighboring base color point. Our pattern will immediately appear on the figure. I'm moving on, going back to the upholstery workshop, i.e. choosing the UV editing screen layout. The texture drawing is not yet activated on the perspective view. Its icons didn't even fit. Don't worry. Move the pointer over the bar and use the scroll wheel. Scroll the bar until they appear. I choose the open one. Viewport shading pops up frame. I look for the texture button in the color group, press it, and it's done. Only those patchwork that are selected in the perspective window appear on the tailor's table. This is a good thing, because we can concentrate on details. It avoids chaos, even if patchwork overlaps each other. However, where the vertex is not cut, it affects its neighbors that are not selected in the perspective view. Now I'm playing with sorting out the faces even better. Where I think I haven't split vertex yet, I use the split command. It is convenient that you can pack it outside the table, and if the field on the table is clear, I put it back. Excuse me, I'll skip to the shading a bit, turn off the texture blur, just one click, and we'll continue. Where you manage to pass the details, you can merge them again, with merge commands. I don't like the cut of the shoes. Cut the sole and cut the heel at the back. I select only the shoes. I use the UV unwrap command only for that area. The rest remain intact. It will be so much better. Here's the back meat. Let's tear it down and move it. It fits like Africa to South America. I made Pangea in it. Here are the knuckles.
Lássuk a melső csülkét. Kezdek éhes lenni.
Here's his paw.
Esetleg te is éhes vagy, és már tisztában vagy ezzel, miket csinálok. Akkor ugorj 34 percre. Ott megmutatom az exportálást.
Here's the back of his polo shirt. I'll put it together with the front. We're done with the UV editing. I'll just export the UV layer at 35 minutes. If you think so, skip there.
Végül is, így már kész vagyunk, ez csak szórakozás egy kicsit. Kísérletezek. Jó, nem sokára megmutatom, ha kiszórakoztam magam, megmutatom, hogyan lehet exportálni ezt az atlaszt. Képnek el lehet menteni. Jó. Na, csináltunk a pólójának újat. Vagy ilyen bál. Jó. Színes, szagos. Kicsit laposabb képet adok neki.
I just feel like I want a flatter face. Just a moment.
Túl jó. Jó. Nehéz abba hagyni a szórakozást. Jó. Szemét még innen kisplittelem, átrakom a fehérbe. Kész. Visszatért személybe a fény, kebelébe a...
The light returns to his eyes, the breath in his bosom. The last command in the UV drop-down is Export UV Layout. As a result of the command, a file requester opens. We can choose the save location and give it a name. Attention! Don't forget, before you push go, enter an effective high resolution for when you want to paint with the Your Painting program. Let's go to GIMP. I can load it and use it soon. I'm not satisfied with the caramel color. I fill it with a raw cowhide-like color. It's called croup. I also scale the Pepita palette to size 1024, and I copy the UV layer on it.
És most csinálunk egy...
I saved file as shared, and I export anyway.
Amin keresztül kommunikálhatunk a Blenderrel. Jó, és...
You can find it in the image drop-down, the replace command. I select the image and it has already been loaded. Oops, I forgot the UV layer was turned on, no problem. Take it to GIMP, turn off the layer, export again, replace, and we're done. Well, let's see if there's anything missing. I think broadly, everything is in place. Save often, more often than you saw in my video. The undo-redo function is good, but save incremental is even safer. This guy has the attitude like a clothes hanger. Call him a bone doctor. Wipe your butt yourself. And to write at school, used the old script. Wrote runes on their sticks with a knife. Even today we talk about debt as if we have a lot of runes. At the top is a contract. It was split in two and everyone had their own copy. ABC in the middle. And at the bottom is an old folder. I burn the runes that are left, moving and scaling. Let's continue with a clean wand. Object apply all transformation. Who is Hard Henrik? You may regret not knowing him. Henrik Kameny was a legendary fair puppet master, one of Budapest's landmarks. In Blender, the puppet master is called an Armatura. In your object plant, in the Add menu, I'll look for the Armatura. Let's go. So, what happened? The fart became a shovel handle. Don't worry, it's not that. It's a bone, you just have to move it. Select the gymnast figure icon. In the viewport menu, turn on the in front switch. In this way, he constantly draws the bones above the figure. The bones cannot be hidden by the shape of the figure. I say it jokingly, because the most delicious soup is made from this part of the birds, chicken, duck, pheasant, and we call it the bishop's bite. Our soup is only an appetizer, after the palinka, fruit distillate. You can build the skeleton in edit mode. It does not yet have any connection with the body, we can shape it freely. The ball are joints, the octahedron, gem, is the bone. Figuratively speaking, it is now a line. The two joints are connected by the gem. The sharper part indicates its direction. This first is the root bone. It is the parent of all bones. Earth gives its root gives its branch gives its bud, a bud gives its flower, a flower gives its fruit. We praise the Blessed Lady for this. Now I think it's a good idea to switch to wired mode. With a combination of Ctrl plus numpad 3 keys, I continue from the left side of the figure with its back. Let's use the extrude action, a key. It should have a trunk, a chest, a neck and a bone, which is the skull. Let's face it again, Ctrl plus numpad 1 keys. We grow the left thigh from the end of the root, from the beginning of the trunk. Let's use the extrude action, a key. With the combination of ALT plus P, we temporarily separate it from its parent. The already independent bone is moved away. We'll find his place. We adjust it between the hip joint and the knee. If it's in the right place, the sequence is important. The thigh should be selected first, then the root with Shift plus left button, then with the combination Ctrl plus P, you will get the parent of the thigh again. Select the keep offset option. Don't mislead them, because the Bixker will poke you. This was in a good place. Continue from the knee to the shin to the ankle. Let's use the extrude action, a key. With a combination of Ctrl plus numpad 3 keys, I continue from the left side of the figure with its... If the position of the knee or ankle is not right, you can simply push it into place with the balls of the joint. We can continue from the ankle to the foot. Their answer is the ankle again, and we grow a spur from it. The spur will be an auxiliary bone. A sniffer Vizsla dog. Boning the arm, we repeat the actions of the leg. The difference is minimal. I am just now extending his arm from the end of the chest bone and from the beginning of the neck bone. Let's face it again, Ctrl plus numpad 1 keys. Let's use the extrude action, a key. With the Alt+P hotkey, I clean it from the parent, shift it, the upper arm also gets an offset. Once the balls are in a good position, I extend the forearm. Let's use the extrude action, Iki. Attach the upper arm back to the chest. Select the upper arm first, the chest second, Shift plus left mouse button. Ctrl+P, hotkey and choose. Keep offset. Blender also drew a dotted line here, right? Now I'll examine it from below. Ctrl plus numpad 7 combination. I see that everything is fine. Wrist, elbow and shoulder are deep enough in the arm. Let's face it again, Ctrl plus numpad 1 keys. Let's choose the wrist. I grew a paw, a finger minute and another. A little beautification. We have a kind of bread. The dough is very light and foamy, which we call calyx. This bone is our knee calyx. This will also be an auxiliary bone, a pole bone for inverse kinematics. As the pole of a magnet pulls iron towards itself, this bone will pull the joints. With this, we can control the IK, where I like it, how the limbs should bend. Ctrl plus numpad 7 combination. I chose also view. I make an auxiliary bone for the elbows and wrists. I am freeing the elbow pole. Alt plus P combination. A sniffer Vizsla dog. In essence, we are done with the puppet's skeleton. An important sequence of actions follows. Now we have determined the position and direction of the bones. The blender can rotate each bone around 3 axes. One axis is the direction of the bone. However, there are still 2 axes that are uncertain. We select all the bones. Okay, we face the figure. Ctrl Q, numpad 1 combination. Shift to QN combination and select view axis from the options. On the Armatura panel, you can turn on the axis switch. It becomes visible that the sequence of operations has adjusted the x-axis to the front direction. The program can mostly use the x-axis for puppetry. I give every bone a name, I select the bone and the F2 key pops up a rubric in which we can enter the name of the bone. Bottom. Back 1. Back 2. Neck, head, uparm.l. The L extension for limbs will soon be an important thing. Lowarm.l. Ikarm.l. Key is important to us. It should appear when choosing from a list. Ikihand.l. Handfinger 1.l. Finger 2, L. Thigh.l. Tibia.l. ikleg.l. ikeboot.l. boot.l. I shift plus select the bones, ikarm.l, ikbone.l, ikleg.l, and clean them from their parents with the LT plus P combination. I choose Tibia, the armature, under the Object mode, Edit mode, created a third so-called Pose mode. This is the Puppet Master's toolbox. On the right panel, in Pose mode, a bone constraint icon will be selectable, representing a combination of a bone and a V-belt drive chain. With the Add Bone Constraint button, we get a menu. Choose the InverseKinemaics option. With this, we can activate InverseKinemaics on the figure's tibia. I just need to configure it. I choose Armatura as target. Bone should be ikboot.l. Let's choose Armatura as Polus again. Its bone will be the ikleg.l. Oops, no problem, IK is still hyperactive. The tibia is the second bone in the figure's leg, so I set the chain length to 2. His feet are still clumsy. We can fix this with the angle of the pole. Aha! Peakles 190 degrees will be good. A sniffer Vizsla dog. Woof woof, good, it works. Ctrl plus ZZ undo what I did. I grab the chick's egg, pull it down and see how it squats. The sole does not stay on the floor. That's why I created the spur. I'll fix it. I select the foot, the green bone on the right panel. Under the Relations tab, we tell it to inherit rotation. The tibia will not affect him, he cannot turn it. I will with the spur. A sniffer Vizsla dog. Woof woof, good, it works. Now the foot should be selected. Add bone constraint. Select the copy rotation option for the foot. I choose Armatura as target. Bone should be ikeboot.L. I choose the target space, my own space, local space. A sniffer Vizsla dog. Woof woof. Green is the y-axis. It rotates in reverse. Blue is the z-axis, that's good. The red is the x-axis, which also rotates in reverse. Woof woof. So, copies the x-axis and the y-axis inverted. Woof woof, good, it works. I sit down on a small hill. I sat down. The ants stung me. My mother scolded me for it. I'm treating his arm now. Let's see what's going on. I save one item. I change it from an IK hand.L bone to an auxiliary bone. It will be like the IK boot.L bone of the leg. I select the IK hand.L bone. Alt plus P combination. I clean it from the parent. I move it away. I clean finger 1 from IK hand.L. Alt plus P combination, I clean it from the parent. I select finger 1 first, then low arm. Ctrl plus P combination, and now don't keep the offset, but connect it, so the joint is welded together. I move finger 2 into place. Done, and we have an extra bone for a paw. I replace the octahedron with a paw-shaped body. A little beautification. Done. Give Blender a cylinder, please. A 5-sided mantle will be enough. Radius 150 millimeters. Depth 50 millimeters. I turn it to the edge and push it so that the origin is at the joint of the paw. I confess, suddenly now, I have no idea how good it will be. The best test of a cake is tasting it. I put it in and it becomes clear if there is ugliness. This is not a life-threatening error. Select the armature and enter the pose mode. Green bone icon in the right panel. In the Viewport Display tab, we find the Custom Object rubric. Select the cylinder from the list. Blender has already replaced it. I try to click on it, but it is covered. I'll try it in object mode, solid mode instead. That's right, it worked. Now I go back to edit mode. A, key selects all faces. Numpad, zoom in. I played around with moving, rotating, scaling until I liked the size and direction of the copy of the paw. I will finalize the paw. I choose the object, apply, all transformation action. I select the armature, go back to the edit mode, I select the paw, and I can safely fit the paw in its place. No need to worry, in edit mode, it uses the original bone. Let's put the bone of our paw in place. Chiribu chiriba. Magic is done. We go back to pose mode and the paw appeared. I choose low arm.L. He is now the bone that used to be the tibia in the leg. Add the InverseKinemaics machine to low arm.L. Blender can be seen in the upper right corner scene catalog, arranged in a tree structure, can be administered in it. The names of the elements, the structure of the characters, and who is dependent on whom are excellently clear. Here is our low arm.L bone. Now I'm doing a little administration. I'm renaming the cylinder to hand.L and the figure for ember. In Hungarian, ember means humane, but life is a tasty ember. Get it that way. We inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. I am investigating if there is an item with the wrong name. I make the body of the original paw invisible, both in the editor, and I also turn off the camera. It is not used during rendering either. It's like it doesn't exist. Okay, enough with the paperwork, we finish the lever. Learning from the previous Baki, I already changed the chain length to 2. I choose armature as target. Bone should be hand finger 1.L. Let's choose Armatura as polus again. Ouch. I only have IK, arm, I forgot the dial. Moment. So the bone of the pole will be IK, arm, del. There's corn in the sow. Oh, it doesn't work. Yes, because. Choose finger 1 instead of target. The paw. They understand that I could easily cut out the mistakes, but that's a good lesson. There is also an error in it, and its correction. Again, I'm not lucky. The elbow is also crooked. Let's adjust the angle of the pole. Try your luck and some tuning. 120 degrees will be the winning value. Hand finger 1.L is set like boot. It copies the rotation of the paw since their directions are not opposite. There is no need to invert it either. A little exercise never hurt anyone. 1, 2, 1. Attention, final touches before mirroring the left bones to the right. The tail extension is therefore important. Those who haven't done it can still do it. All limb item names should have IL at the end. Deform should be turned off for the IK auxiliary bones I'll show you. In this way, they do not interfere with the body, they only perform their auxiliary tasks. Let's choose the edit mode. Press A key, select all bones. Press F3 to open a search pop-up. Start typing Symmetrise. If you have found the command Armatura, Symmetrise, select the option. Cheery boo, cheery bar. If you followed it right, the frame is ready. sniff a Vizsla dog. Woof, woof, good, it works. I skin the bones. I choose object mode. I choose the figure first, Armatura for the second with Shift plus left mouse button. Use the Ctrl plus P combination to add the figure to the armature. Select the with automatic weights option. You select the armature and enter the pose mode. If your figure moves like this, I'm happier than you that I could help you. If you have any problems, I'm at your disposal in the comment section. Ask, criticize. Thanks. The fun is over for today. The first lesson of a live moon is over. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can find out what the next fun is.
Ilyet, amit magyarok, igen szerint.